Archives of Prasar Bharati presents the timeless treasure of Golden Era.
Do hereby solemnly pledge.
नमस्कार। नई दिल्ली के विज्ञान भवन से आप सभी का हार्दिक स्वागत है। विज्ञान भवन में कल से एक राष्ट्रीय सेमिनार का आयोजन किया गया है कि किस प्रकार भ्रष्टाचार से लड़कर समाज और देश को भ्रष्टाचार मुक्त बनाने की दिशा में तेजी से लाया जाए। और मौका है केंद्रीय सतर्कता आयोग सेंट्रल विजिलेंस कमीशन की स्थापना के 50 वर्ष पूरे होने का। कल यानी 11 फरवरी को सीवीसी ने अपनी स्थापना के 50 वर्ष पूरे किए और इसी अवसर पर 2 दिन के राष्ट्रीय सेमिनार का आयोजन किया गया।
Privilege to extend a very warm welcome to Shri Narayan Swamy, the Honorable Minister of State for PMO, who has been kind enough to grace the occasion despite his busy schedule. He has been a pillar of support to the Vigilance Administration and has always encouraged us in our anti-corruption efforts. Absence of corruption is one of the hallmarks of a society governed by the rule of law. A basic requirement for fighting corruption is the existence of sound regulatory and institutional frameworks. Thanks to the vision and foresight of our early leadership, we started putting in place such systems right at the time of independence when corruption started rearing its head. As one of the earliest institutions in the evolution of our democratic processes, the Central Vigilance Commission was set up on 11th February 2014 to bring about transparency, accountability, and probity in public life. As part of the Golden Jubilee celebrations, we had organized a 2-day seminar titled Combating Corruption, Role of Accountability Institutions, Investigating Agencies, Civil Society, and Media. This function marks the conclusion of this seminar. The seminar was widely attended and the lively debates on the important aspects of the anti-corruption were highly enriching. The eminent speakers made very valuable recommendations which we hope to carry forward. While a detailed report is being prepared, I will highlight some of the important points made during the seminar. During the inaugural function, the Honorable President noted that corruption remains a stumbling block in national progress as it increases transaction costs for business and reduces the efficiency of public services. While crediting the CVC with several innovative initiatives like leveraging technology and integrity pacts, he called upon the CVC to enhance public awareness against corruption. The Prime Minister, Dr. Singh, reiterated that accountability institutions like the CVC act as aid to the government process and emphasized the need for due care to ensure that the honest are not harassed for bona fide mistakes. To provide a credible deterrence against corruption, it is necessary that the corrupt are promptly punished, however high and mighty they may be. This is possible only if we have effective and independent institutions to uphold integrity. The presence of a strong judiciary in India has acted as a bulwark against corruption. We have several examples where the most powerful of public figures have been brought to justice. Judicial pronouncements have always strengthened institutions like the CVC. The CVC greatly values this support. Independence and autonomy is an important ingredient of anti-corruption agencies, which empowers them to act without fear or favor. As prescribed in Article 6 and 36 of the UN Convention Against Corruption, clarity of mandate, independent and objective appointments, and functional and financial autonomy are some of the key requirements which ensure the independence and effectiveness of anti-corruption agencies. We are proud that the Central Vigilance Commission Act upholds these principles. The important takeaway of the session on ensuring autonomy with accountability of the investigating agencies was that autonomy and accountability are not mutually exclusive and go hand in hand. While our institutions have largely stood the test of time, there is a need to review our laws and practices to bring them in tune with the increasing complexity and changing dynamics of corruption. While the Lokpal has now become a reality after 4 decades, several other laws aimed at curbing corruption are under legislation. The Prevention of Corruption Act is also undergoing amendments to bring it in tune with the existing reality. An important principle of rule of law is that administration of justice is not only accessible and fair but also efficient. Delays in the judicial process is a serious challenge in fighting corruption as courts are overburdened with cases and the trials take long years. As a result, the guilty continue to enjoy the fruits of corruption while the innocent suffer. There are more than 6,600 cases of corruption pertaining to CBI which are under trial. About 1,500 of them are under trial for more than 10 years. The legal community needs to find a viable solution to this problem. As corruption has become sophisticated and acquired international dimensions, investigating corruption calls for multidisciplinary skills. Investigating agencies therefore need to augment their capacity. There is a need for synchronizing the efforts of all agencies involved in the fight against corruption, whether in the state or the center. Corporate corruption has always remained a challenge for lawmakers, investigators, and prosecutors. Corporate corruption has come to stay because of the eagerness of the companies to undermine competition through graft. The finance minister, while chairing a session during the seminar, emphasized the importance of self-regulation and compliance in ensuring corporate ethics. It is hoped that the new Companies Act and other related legislations will promote good corporate governance through better disclosure, accountability, and transparency in corporate affairs. Public participation is the key to a successful anti-corruption strategy, as it is difficult for the anti-corruption agencies with limited resources and mandate to combat corruption in its myriad dimensions and manifestations. Corruption can be curbed if the citizens are able to resist and desist from payment of bribes. Civil society and media act as force multipliers in the fight against corruption by empowering and educating the citizens. We are seeing how the right to information combined with an active media and information technology is throwing open the opaque corridors of government to public gaze. However, there is a need for caution as engaging in vilification and public finger-pointing will not serve the purpose. During the panel discussion on the role of media and civil society, Justice Ray was of the view that media should remain within its Lakshman Rekha and should not become the prosecutor, jury, and judge. There are several issues like paid news and cross-media ownership on which the media needs to ponder. Anti-corruption efforts cannot be fully successful unless the challenge of political corruption is addressed. Electoral reforms are fundamental to this. Electoral funding and increasing criminalization of politics are the two issues which were identified as of major concern. As the Central Vigilance Commission crosses the milestone of 50 years, I feel assured with the kind of support and cooperation received from all our stakeholders. We shall always remain true to our vision of ensuring good governance by promoting the values of ethics and integrity in public affairs. With these words, I once again welcome our distinguished guests. Thank you.
May I request the Central Vigilance Commissioner, Mr. Pradeep Kumar, to please present flowers to our guests. First to the Chief Justice of India, Honorable Mr. Justice P. Sadasivam, and to the Minister of State in the Prime Minister's Office and for Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions, Mr. V. Narayanaswamy. May I now request the Chief Justice of India, Honorable Mr. Justice P. Sadasivam, to please light the ceremonial lamp and inaugurate the valedictory ceremony. May I request all the other dignitaries to please join him for this ceremony. Thank you, gentlemen. The CVC would like to thank our guests for joining us this evening, and I request the Central Vigilance Commissioner, Mr. Pradeep Kumar, to please present mementos to Honorable Mr. Justice P. Sadasivam. And to the Honorable Minister, Mr. V. Narayanaswamy. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have a documentary on the CVC which we would like to share with you. The journey of the Central Vigilance Commission since its inception in 1964 up to now, a period of 50 years, has not been an easy one. The Commission has played a pivotal role in meeting the expectations of the citizens and other stakeholders in the last 50 years. The film, titled Watchful 50, made exclusively by Doordarshan, directed by Mr. Rajiv Rai and Mr. Kapil Bhatia, tracing the history of CVC, its functioning and important milestones, is ready for release. And I'd like to request the Honorable Chief Justice of India to please do us the honors by pressing the remote which is placed in front of you, sir.
हम भारत के लोक सेवक वी द पब्लिक सर्वेंट्स ऑफ इंडिया ഭാരതത്തിലെ പൊതുസേവകർ ഞങ്ങളുടെ പ്രവർത്തനത്തിന്റെ do hereby solemnly pledge
যে আমরা কর্মের প্রতিটি ক্ষেত্রে ও
Corruption in one form or another has always existed. Kautilya, in his Arthashastra, refers to various forms of corruption prevalent in his times. There are instances of corruption in the times that followed, but are sporadic. The situation, however, underwent a sea change during the period of the Second World War. This is considered the highest watermark of corruption in India and also in other countries. Right from the childhood, vigilant lessons are taught and learned. Vigilance is an eternal prize for freedom and liberty. On 15th August 1947, India got independence. The new popular government took office.
Long years ago, we made a tryst with destiny, and now the time comes when we shall redeem our pledge.
The long British rule left the country in the grasp of many problems, and corruption was one of them. Let us take a moment to see the anti-corruption measures that existed around the time when India became independent. In August 1955, Administrative Vigilance Division was created under the leadership of the then Home Minister, Govind Ballabh Pant. Despite various anti-graft measures taken after independence, the problem of corruption was debated in the Parliament during June 1962. Sri Lal Bahadur Shastri, the then Minister for Home Affairs, recommended setting up a committee under the chairmanship of K. Santhanam, who was a member of the first Central Council of Ministers and a member of Parliament at that time, to review the problem and make suggestions. Santhanam Committee recommended the creation of Central Vigilance Commission, independent of the government. On 11th February 1964, the Central Vigilance Commission was first constituted through a resolution by the Government of India.
The purpose of Shastri ji was that, look here, there should be some body which overlooks the whole thing, the gamut of government activity and corruption. And that body should not be under the government. It should be directly responsible to Parliament. I think the very fact that he appointed one, or at least talked about it at that time, that was quite a deterrence for dishonest officers, contractors and others.
CVC was set up because corruption has multiplied. It was the biggest problem. Protecting the honest is equally an important thing than fighting corruption.
The Commission was given powers to examine complaints of corruption of the employees of the Union and entrust such complaints, information or cases for inquiry to the CBI or to the CVOs of the Ministry, the Department or the undertaking concerned. The Commission had been a one-member commission since its inception. Commission's role as a watchdog became more crucial in the wake of the Honorable Supreme Court's directions in 1997 on a writ petition filed in the public interest by Vineet Narayan and others in Hawala case. Keeping with the directions, the government promulgated an ordinance in 1998 conferring statutory status to CVC as a multi-member body. The CVC Act 2003, present status, passed by both the Houses of Parliament and with the assent of the President of India, came into effect from 11 September 2003.
Number of initiatives were taken in the next 3 or 4 years. In case of preventive vigilance, concepts like Integrity Pact, concepts like e-procurement and leveraging of technology were started.
CVC has been conferred the following powers. After the Lokpal and Lokayukta Act 2013, a separate selection process for Director CBI has been put in place. The CVC calls reports of the work done by CBI in corruption cases. The CVC holds meetings with the CBI regularly in order to brief it about the important corruption cases.
CVC is mandated to exercise superintendence over the CBI insofar as the anti-corruption cases are concerned. And to that end, the CVC gives the CBI the general guidelines for proper supervision of the cases and holds monthly meetings in which all the anti-corruption cases are discussed. The CVC is governed by the CVC Act, and both the CBI and the CVC are working together to fight the menace of corruption in the country.
The Central Vigilance Commission referred the 2G spectrum, Commonwealth Games, coal block allocation cases to the CBI for investigation. The Commission is of the view that effective and objective vigilance administration and efficient administration and good governance go hand in hand. The Central Vigilance Commission recognizes the importance of complaints as a good source of information and a starting point in its fight against corruption. Complaints can be made through a letter, email, or through its web portal.
Hello, CVC Call Center, Delhi.
CVC Helpline New Delhi. Hello, CVC Helpline New Delhi. May I help you?
The Commission also runs a helpline, and the public can lodge a complaint over phone. Complaints are processed electronically. A data center is maintained to enable its core processes to run using IT. During the last 10 years, the CVC has disposed of more than 1.5 lakh complaints. In order to get better technical and financial control, securing economy in expenditure, the Chief Technical Examiner, as CVC's technical arm, carries out the inspection of civil, electrical and horticulture work of the central government departments, PSUs and enterprises. The Central Vigilance Commission, since its inception and also after attaining the statutory role, is conducting examination of contracts and construction projects on complaints. It asks organizations to send quarterly reports of the contracts and projects. The CVC technical team even goes on site visits where they inspect the contract documents, scrutinize the payments made to private contractors, and take samples for testing.
We get details of all high value contracts beyond a particular threshold value from all organizations which are under jurisdiction of CVC, and from that details we pick up some works for intense examination.
In that inspection we start from the beginning, that is right from conception of the project, conceptualization of the project, then preparation of estimate, then calling of tenders, then award of work and how you have defined it, and afterwards execution of the quality of the work, and then in case of quality then we look for everything.
During Commonwealth Game itself we had checked about 30 works valuing about more than 3,000 crores, and based on our observations certain system improvements took place and lot of recoveries were undertaken by the organization.
The Central Vigilance Commission issues guidelines from time to time to bring transparency in the procurement, as the public procurement constitutes just 28% of the GDP. Vigilance Division of various PSUs and government organizations are headed by CVOs, a link between the organization and CVC and CBI. The CVO's function can broadly be preventive and punitive vigilance and surveillance and detection. The Commission recommends initiation of disciplinary proceedings after examining the investigation reports of CBI and CVOs of the departments. Over the years, the Honorable Supreme Court and the Parliament have reposed faith in the functioning of the Commission. The Government of India designated CVC to receive complaints from the whistleblowers through a resolution notified in 2004. Under this resolution, which is also called Public Interest Disclosure and Protection of Infobust Resolution, PIDPI, the CVC receives the complaints where complainants request for the secrecy of their identity. With increasing globalization, corruption has acquired transnational dimensions. The International Association of Anti-Corruption Authorities provides a valuable platform and is striving to strengthen global cooperation to combat the menace of corruption. India hosted the annual conference of IAACA during 2013. The CVC of India is heading a task force on knowledge management of the IAACA to facilitate the sharing of information among the member countries. Central Vigilance Commission is celebrating its Golden Jubilee. During its 50 years of vigilance administration, CVC has been striving to promote transparency, probity, and integrity. The Commission has acquired immense exposure in overseeing the vigilant administration and has been stressing on predictive, proactive, and participative vigilance measures, in addition to building up public awareness to fight corruption.
This is a beautiful country with beautiful people. But only thing that I'm really disturbed about is the corruption in our system today.
जो आजकल हो रहा है महंगाई, मिलावट, corruption, इस पर इसको रोक लगाना चाहिए. It's very important. इनका काम है गरीब आवाम को बचाना.
For us as the youth, education is the most important thing right now. And CVC being the central body that is responsible for looking after and curbing corruption in India, so we would really look forward if they take initiative and they stop and curb the corruption that is in the educational sector.
CVC डिपार्टमेंट है और अपने यहाँ जो भी करप्शन चालू है जिसको को भी पता चले तो इस डिपार्टमेंट में जानकारी देना चाहिए और इसका लाभ उठाना चाहिए.
The Central Vigilance Commission promotes usage of technology as a tool to bring down corruption. This technology reduces delays, brings transparency, and eliminates public contacts with officials. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, headquartered in Paris, has recognized this initiative of CVC and included it as one of the good practices in its publication.
Commission has been, very proactive in terms of vigilance administration in the banking sector and the financial sector, and we have brought out a special chapter on vigilance in respect of banks. As far as Commission is concerned, we do not have many issues and problems with regard to the vigilance administration on the financial sector.
The CVC milestones include publication of Vigilance Manual, a Vijay software, bulletins, Vijay Vani, creation of Vigilance Advisory Council and CVO's training programs, annual sectoral review meetings, and conducting Vigilance Awareness Week throughout the country. The Commission had also suggested the introduction of moral curriculum and values of honesty and integrity in the schools, as value education at the school level is very important for promoting ethical values in the society.
The challenge before us is to create an environment in which the honest can work fearlessly and the corrupt have no place to hide. The guilty are punished swiftly and the innocent are exonerated without any delay. Eradication of corruption is difficult because it is rooted in human greed and naked self-interest. Mere enactment of tough anti-corruption laws and their strict enforcement is not enough to combat corruption. For this, we need to inculcate right moral values in our people to create a corruption-free society.
There are still important challenges faced by the CVC in ensuring the transparency in governance. The expectations of the people have grown manifold, with corruption becoming an important issue haunting the conscience of the nation. Fighting corruption is like fighting a war, and not to be left only to CVC or CBI. We can fight and win if we move collectively. Let us come together and enjoy together. Let our strengths come together. Let us avoid the twin dangers of hatred and misunderstanding. that way lies progress. A corruption-free India.